Welcome everyone to chair yoga. So to begin, we'll just take a few moments to relax the body. So sitting comfortably in the chair, extending your feet out a little bit in front of you, hands resting in the lap. Go ahead and either close the eyes or just drop the gaze. And taking a moment to turn the attention inward. Taking note as to how your body feels. Especially noting any areas of tension. Or tightness. And then we'll take 2 deep cleansing breaths. So take a nice big inhale through the nose. And exhale it all out by blowing or sighing it out. And one more nice big inhale. And exhale it all out. And then soften the muscles of the face. Relax the muscles of the neck. And the shoulders. And then turn the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And then we'll begin a nice, even breathing. Inhaling and exhaling to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And just continue with this nice, even breathing. If at any time it makes you lightheaded or dizzy, just go back to your own normal breathing pattern. And then we also set an intention for each practice to help remind us why we are here. So that may be a benefit you would like to receive, or just an uplifting or positive thought or a phrase. So think of an intention that you'd like to have for your practice today. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. And then we'll begin the warm-up by turning our heads to look out over the right shoulder. and back to center, and turning to look out over the left. And back to center, dropping the chin into the chest. And then picking the chin up towards the ceiling and jutting that lower jaw out. And back to center and dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And back to center and left ear to left shoulder. And back to center, extending the hands out in front, open and close the fingers. And then some wrist circles. And reverse. Good. And then sitting up nice and tall, bring the arms alongside the body. With an inhale, sweep the arms up, bring your palms together. And then exhale, extend the arms down so that your palms are in front of the chest. Lift the elbows and very gently press your palms together. Good. And then reverse. So now you're going to drop your fingers down, put the back of the hands together. And again, very gently, just apply a little bit of pressure. Good. And then go ahead and come back to palms together. And then extend the arms all the way up again. And to exhale, bring those arms down and around, and then just shake those hands out. And then we're going to do a little hula movement. So we'll just do a little hula to the right. Just let those hands flow. Feel that in those wrists. And then to the left. Good. And again to the right. And left. Good. And then bring the hands back to the lap, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do some shrugs. So pick the shoulders up towards the ears and pull them back down. Good. And then the next time you pick the shoulders up, roll them to the back. Nice shoulder rolls. And then bringing the shoulders back to neutral, extend the arms out in front, elbows and palms together, and then clasp your hands. And with an inhale, extend the elbows out, looking up, really expanding out. And then as you exhale, we're going to fold back into center. Bring the elbows in, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, expanding back out. Exhale, folding into center. Inhale, expand. Exhale, folding into center. Good. And then release the arms alongside the body. Extend them out in front of you with the palms facing up. And then pull the elbows back. So it's the same movement as if you're opening a drawer. So extend and pull. As you pull those elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades. Good. Let's do a couple more. Good. And then coming back to center, go ahead and take that right leg, extend it out just a little bit off the floor so you can point and flex the foot. And then some ankle circles. And reverse. Good. And then same thing with the other leg. Extend it out, point and flex. And circles. And reverse. Good. Bring that left leg back in. Then take the right leg, extend it out, and bend it back in. So just have your foot a few inches off the floor, just so you can bend and extend, warming up the knee and the quadricep, top of the thigh. Good. And then with this last one, as you extend, just extend the right arm forward. Just hold that extension. Good. And then we'll try it on the other side. So same thing. Just pick your foot up a little bit so you can bend and extend. Good. And then this next time when you extend, then extend the left arm and just hold. Get a nice stretch here. Good. All right. Bring that other foot back down, or the left foot. And then the right foot, just walk your foot forward a little bit. Take your left foot, cross it over the right ankle. And then we're going to do this little slide. So you're going to just extend the left ankle up and down the right shin. So you're going to feel this in your hip, that left hip. Good. And then uncross, and you can play around maybe extending. I usually extend that left foot maybe a little bit here. You can get a little better movement. So right foot over the left ankle, and again, you're just going to slide that right foot up and down the left shin. You're going to feel that here in the hip, that psoas, quad. Good. All right, go ahead and bring that right foot down, release it, come back to center. And then bringing the right hand alongside the body, you can hold on to the chair if you'd like. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, and then exhale, bend to the right. Good. Come back to center, switch arms, inhale, and to exhale to the left. Good. Coming back to center, take the left hand, place it on the right knee. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, turn and look to the right. Good. Release back to center, switch hands. Inhale and exhale to the left. Good. Release back to center. And placing the hands on the thighs, we're going to do a spinal movement called cat-cow. So it's an arching and a rounding of the back. If you do have osteoporosis, then just avoid that rounding part. Just keep the spine in neutral. All right, so we'll start with cow, which is the arching of the back. So with an inhale, lift the chest and the chin. And with your exhale, you'll either just stay in neutral or coming into cat. So rounding the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, either neutral or cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And again, inhale and exhale. Good. And then coming back to center, we're going to do a little warm up before we actually come up to standing. So we have 3 leg movements and 3 upper body movements. So the upper body movements, we're going to do a little boxing. So we'll be doing some boxing moves. So we'll start with the lower body. So the first lower body exercise is called a seated run. So just like we did in the warm-up, you're going to bend and extend the leg. Only as you do that, you're going to bring the arms in so it looks like you're running. It's just a heel-toe movement of the leg. And then opposite arm comes forward. Okay? All right, so we'll do this for a few seconds. All right, here we go. So just this seated run. So just move how you can. You don't have to go as fast as I'm going. You can just do a little heel-toe. Good. All right, come back to center. Our first upper body movement is called a speed bag. So you're going to imagine you're hitting that speed bag in front of you. So you're just circling very loose fists in front of you. This is also great for the core. All right, here we go. So just make this circle with those fists. Good, and keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Couple more seconds. Good. All right. Woo. Release that. We're back to the lower body. We're going to do what we call downward facing dog in the chair. So it's a seated jumping jack. So arms and legs extended out. Back to center and out. All right. Ready? Here we go. Good. One more. Good. Back to center. We're back to boxing. We have another boxing move for the upper body. It's called an uppercut. So you're just going to, again, with a loose fist, you're going to punch like you're coming up underneath somebody's chin in front of you. Okay? Be kind of deliberate with your movement. Here we go. Again, this is great for the core. So we want to get warmed up. Good. Once more here. Good. Rest it out. All right. Last leg movement is just a march. Now you can put your arms with it if you like, or just move the legs. All right, here we go. Marching. All right, come back to center. The last upper body movement is really going to work these obliques. We're going to duck. So you imagine there's a punch coming at you. What would you do? You would duck. So it's just a little side bend. And again, your fingers are very loose, just in a loose fist. So you're just going to duck to the left, duck to the right, or bend. You're just bending, doing a little side bend. Good. All right, bend. Just bend from the waist. So warming up the obliques and those back muscles. Good. Once more each side. Good. All right. Now that you know them, we're going to go through them one more time. Do you remember them? First one, we're going to run. All right, here we go. Just heel toe with your feet. And then we're going to come back to center. Speed bags, now reverse your circle. All right, here we go. Couple more seconds. Good, rest out those arms. Woo, you really feel that in those arms. Here we go, downward facing dog. Begin. Good, one more. Good, back to center. Do you remember our boxing move next? An uppercut. All right, here we go. Good. Once more here. Rest it out. We've got 2 more to go, so we're marching. Here we go, march those feet. Hopefully you're feeling warmed up. Your heart rate has gone up a little bit, just enough that those muscles are warm. That's what we want. Good. All right, and the last one is our little side bend, or in boxing, our duck. Good. Avoid that punch. Good. Once more each side. Good. Rest it out. We're going to come up to standing. If you've got your water nearby, go ahead and grab your water. You will need your chair. Just have your chair nearby also. All right, here we go. Shift the weight forward into those feet and come on up to standing. All right, I'm going to put my chair to the side and grab a drink. All right. So we are going to practice some balance movements here. So make sure that the chair is nearby. I'm going to have it to the side just so you can see what I'm doing. If you feel more comfortable with the chair in front of you, then go ahead and do that too. All right. Let's start by coming into Tadasana, or mountain pose. So have the feet about hip width apart. Finding the 4 corners of the feet. You're going to distribute the weight between the balls of the feet back to the heels. So you shouldn't have any weight in your toes. And then lifting up through the arches, tightening the front of the thighs. Good. Lift and tighten the abdominals. Focus on the spine, lengthening up from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Pick the shoulders up and roll them down the back so the chest is lifted. Arms are alongside the body, a few inches away from it, palms facing each other. And keeping the chin parallel to the floor, gazing forward. And just taking a few breaths here. All right, so let's add a little balance component here. Put your right hand on the chair. With an inhale, sweep the left arm up and come up on the balls of the feet. And then exhale, come down. All right, let's try it again. Now, as you come up, try to keep your ankles in line with your toes. Exhale down. So what do I mean by that? Normally, when we come up, especially if the ankles are a little weak, they tend to kind of roll out like that to the side. So I want you to focus on that, and maybe you don't come up quite as high, but try to keep that ankle in line with your toes. All right, here we go. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Good. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. All right, now just bend each knee. It looks like you're walking, but you're not going anywhere, just to release these ankles. If it feels good, you can shake them out or kind of do some circles. But we aren't done with these ankles. So strengthening the ankles are so important with walking, standing, keeping your balance. So now we're going to come into chair pose. But we're going to do 2 versions. So we're going to do the regular pose, and then we're going to come into it, and we're going to bend one knee and then the other. So the weight will be shifting into each leg. So here's where the chair for that may be helpful. All right, let's come into the full pose, though, without the modification. So standing in mountain again. Take a nice big inhale. Now, with your exhale, you're going to bend from the leg crease, where your leg meets your hip. You're going to push the weight back in the hips. The weight will shift back into your heels. Good. Now, glance down at your knees. You want your knees to be behind your toes and in line with about the 2nd and 3rd toe. So in other words, I see this a lot, knees coming in. You want to keep the knees in line with the toes. Let's go ahead and inhale. Bring the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing forward. Keep the chest lifted. Good. And just continue to breathe. Good. Then with the inhale, come on up. And again, just do this little release. And we're going to try that again, and we're going to put that little heel lift in. So make sure the chair is nearby. Take a nice big inhale. Go ahead and bring the left arm out to the side. Exhale, come back into chair. So push that weight back in the hips. Check your knees. Make sure they're in alignment and behind the toes. And then lift the right heel and then the left. If you want to balance here, feel free to do that any time, but at least you have the chair nearby if you need it. Good. Remember to breathe. Keep breathing. This is a great leg strengthener. Good. Let's try it once more. Each side, so right and left. Good. Come on up. Release those arms. Again, just kind of shake those legs out a little bit. And then we'll come into a nice stretch for the legs. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So turning to the back of the chair, putting the hands on the top of the back of the chair, walking the feet back so you can extend through the arms, and then widen your stance. So bring your feet wider than your hips. Bend your knees. This will prevent that low back from rounding. And then, let's see, let me extend a little bit more here. You want to extend through the arms into the shoulders and the back, and then drop the chest and the head down towards the floor. So your ears are alongside the upper arms. Now, depending on your hamstrings, keep a bend in the knee, or if you're a little more flexible, maybe
beginning to straighten the legs as long as that low back does not start rounding. So that's going to tell you if you need to keep a bend in the knees. And then continue to breathe. Come back to that nice, even breathing. Good. All right, to come out of the pose, go ahead and bend the knees, bring those feet in towards each other, and then begin to walk in towards the chair, lifting the torso. Good. All right, so we're going to stay behind the chair, and we're going to come into a high lunge. So it's a fairly wide stance with your legs. So holding on to the back of the chair, shift the weight over to the left leg. Bend the right knee. As you begin to take that right foot behind you to get that wider stance, you're going to bend the left knee. Bring the ball of the right foot down, and you're going to stay on the ball of the right foot. So my right leg is pretty straight. I still have a little bend in the knee. By holding on to the chair then, I can extend my torso up. My foot set here. So with my left leg, that left knee is bent and it's stacked right over the ankle. And then you want to turn and face the back of the chair. Good. So this is what we call high lunge. You should be feeling a nice stretch here in the front of the right thigh. Good. So now we're going to put a little movement into it. Again, a great leg strengthener. Inhale to lengthen, and with your exhale, I want you to bend the right knee and see if you can send it down towards the floor. And then come back up, keep a little bend, and that left knee stays bent. Good. And then back up. Exhale, just come down as far as you can. Good. 2 more. Good. All right, shift the weight forward as you step that right foot forward. Walk it out. Check out that left leg. And let's try it on the other side. So weight goes into the right leg. Then that left knee, again, you're going to step way back. So you can be on the ball of the left foot. Bend that right knee. Remember, it stays right over the ankle. Good. And then I'm going to lift the torso. I can keep my hands on the chair. So I'm facing forward. Good. Little bend in the left knee. All right, here we go. We're going to move, bend the left knee. Just think of dropping the hips straight down. Woo, this really works these legs. Good. Continue to breathe. Good. Let's try one more. Good. Shift the weight forward. Step that left foot forward. Walk it out. Shake those legs. Good. All right. Now, still facing the back of the chair, we're going to come into Warrior One. So it's different than the lunge because it's a much shorter stance. I'm still going to shift my weight to the left leg. Bend the right knee. Now, I'm just going to step it back, my right foot back, but now I'm going to plant my right heel. I'm still going to bend the left knee. If you need to hold on to the chair with one of your hands, that's fine. Otherwise, you want to bring the torso up And extend the arms up. Good. And gazing forward. Make sure that your left knee is not going past the left toe. Good. Hips are squared to the back of the chair. And breathe. And then with the exhale, as you bring your arms down, you can hold on to the chair. Shift that weight forward, stepping forward. And we'll try it on the other side. Shift the weight into the right leg. And again, as you step the left foot back, you're going to bend the right knee, but the difference is it's a shorter stance, so you can press the left heel down. Good, and then I'm going to square my hips to the back of the chair. If you need to keep a hand on the chair, go ahead and do that. But you want to bring the torso upright. If you can, extend the arms up overhead, reaching those fingertips up. Good, and breathe. Good, and then as you exhale, bring the arms down, shift the weight forward, step the legs forward, walk it out. Good. All right, we have one more standing posture. I'm going to bring the chair to the other side here. This is called the eagle pose. So have the chair nearby if you need it. We'll start by shifting the weight into the left leg, and you're just going to cross the right foot over the left. Now you've narrowed your base of support there, so if you feel a little unsteady here, then keep a hand on the chair. Extending the arms out in front, or just the right arm if you're holding on to the chair. Then you'll take the left arm, cross it over the right, just at the elbow, and then bring the hands to your shoulders. And lifting the elbows, reaching those fingers back, and giving yourself a big hug here. Good. And again, you may just have your right arm here if you're holding on. All right. Another option is to extend the lower arms and wrap them, holding on to your opposite thumb or putting the back of the hands together. Good. And then continue to breathe. Good, and then with your exhale, release the arms. Go ahead and uncross the legs, and then we'll try it on the other side. So if you want to bring the chair over here, if you use the chair, shift the weight into the right leg, cross that left leg over. So if you are feeling unsteady here, keep a hand on the chair. Otherwise, both arms come forward, palms facing up. This time, take the right arm over the left, either giving yourself that big hug or wrapping the lower arms. Good, and breathing. Good, and then slowly unwrap those arms and cross the legs and just shake it out a little bit. Good. And then if you would like to grab another drink of water, we are going to come back to sitting in the chair. So I'm going to grab a quick drink. All right. I'm going to turn on the diagonal here just so you can see what I'm doing. So sitting in the chair, we're going to do a seated back bend. So come up towards the edge of the chair so you've got a little room behind you. And then you're going to bring your hands just past your hips. So When you do that, do you see how you begin to open up here in the front of the chest? That's what we want. Depending on your chair, if you want to hold on to the legs of the chair, you can do that, or just place your hands behind the hips. Then, as you press into your hands, you'll begin to lift the chest. All right, so with an inhale, press into those hands, lift the chest and the chin, just looking up. You don't have to let your neck fall back. Just continue to support it. Good. So you have a nice arch here in the thoracic spine or in the mid-spine. Good. And continue to breathe. Good. And then with the exhale, go ahead and release. Just take a moment here to take a regular breath. Good. All right. I'm going to turn my chair back around here. So now we're going to come into a twist. So sitting about midway in the chair, taking your feet and just shuffle them over to the right. So you can see now your thighs are at an angle. Take the right hand, place it on the left knee. With an inhale, lengthen the spine, and then with your exhale, turn and look to the left. So it's a little deeper stretch than we had in the warm-up. So as you twist, just continue to breathe. Again, coming back to that nice even breathing. Good, and then releasing the twist, back to center. We'll take our feet, shuffle them back to center, and now we're gonna go over to the left. Good, take the left hand, place it on the right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. You always want a nice straight spine when you twist. And then exhale, turn and look to the right. Again, nice even breathing. And then releasing back to center. Go ahead and bring the feet back to the center. And then doing a little hip walk to the edge of the chair, extending both legs out in front of you, have the heels on the floor and the toes pointing up towards the ceiling. So we're going to now do a hamstring stretch. So everybody's going to be different here depending on the flexibility in those hamstrings. But as you sit here, you should begin to feel a nice stretch in the back of the thighs. If you are a little more flexible, bending from the leg crease, so right where the leg and the torso meet, inhale to lengthen, keeping the back straight. Think of bringing the chest forward just a couple of inches. So you're not rounding through the low back. You're actually bending from the hip. Good. And you'll see how that increases that stretch. Also tightening the top of the thighs will help to relax the hamstring. Good. And coming back to your nice even breathing. Good. A few more seconds. Good, and then with the inhale, come on back up. Go ahead and bring the feet back in, and you'll want to now do a little hip walk to about the middle of the chair. And we're going to do a stretch for the glutes. Depending on the flexibility in your hip and your knee, I'm going to show you an option. This is the pose that we're going to come into. If this is too much for you,
Then you may want to come back to the edge of the chair, take the right foot, just cross it over the left ankle, and then see if you can open up the right knee. That will also give you a nice stretch in the glute. Otherwise, if you're okay crossing the right foot over the left thigh, then we'll stay here. So this is called seated pigeon pose. We normally do this on the mat, or you can do it laying on your back. You may have done that before. It's a great physical therapy stretch. They use it a lot too. So if your hip is tight and you want to try it on the floor, you could do that too. Or on your bed. It's a great stretch to do in the mornings. Good. And again, you're breathing the whole time. It's easy to forget to breathe and hold your breath, so we don't want to do that. Good. All right, let's switch legs. Release that right leg. Again, if you need to, just cross the left foot over the right ankle. If you sit up towards the edge of the chair, you can open up that left knee a little bit more. Otherwise, then we'll cross the left foot over the right thigh. And bending from the hip, if you bring the chest forward, and this one, maybe an inch at the most, you're going to feel a deeper stretch in that hip. So just be careful here. You should always be feeling a deep stretch, no pain, no discomfort. Good, and then go ahead and with your inhale, lift the torso and cross the legs. We'll come back to our hip walk, coming up to the edge of the chair. This time we're going to widen the knees, so we're in this wide stance. And now we're going to focus on the inner thigh, the groin muscles in here, and a nice stretch here. So placing the forearms on those inner thighs. Take a nice big inhale, and then you're going to bend from the hip. You're just going to tilt forward. So again, my low back is perfectly straight. My back stays straight. I'm going to press my forearms into my thighs. Now, pay attention to how your body feels. Just a nice deep stretch here. Back off of it if you need to, if this is too much. Just feel that nice stretch here in the inner thigh, and I'm feeling it in my groin muscles too. Good, and then continue to breathe. Good, and then with the inhale, go ahead and lift the torso. Walk those feet in, and then little hip walk, coming all the way to the back of the chair and back into your pose of relaxation, or now at the end we call Savasana, where we take a few moments just to relax. So come back to closing the eyes, resting the hips and the back on the back of the chair. And focusing again on the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And after your next inhale, begin to lengthen the exhale. And continue lengthening each exhale until they become about twice as long as the inhale. And focus on the physical body. Relax all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Release any tension or tightness. And then focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, excuse me, or anxieties. Imagine yourself in a place that brings you peace. And give yourself just a few moments to completely let go. Begin to deepen your breath. And then start moving your fingers and toes. And then the wrists and the ankles. Slowly bending one knee and then the other. And keeping the body relaxed and the eyes closed for another moment. Focus on the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. And then we'll take one more deep cleansing breath. So take a nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.